social geometry that can crop up in a space, especially when a closed space allows psychological reverberations from person to person more than an open space will. So the space kind of directs the psychological resonances towards the people as they live together. It's a very accessible example of what social geometry looks like in a psychological dimension perspective, which we can draw the shadow of in a graph with statistical means. So this is kind of psychology having one one visible part of it accessible to us in scientific terms, as in patterns that can be categorized as constant laws of nature. And it also has another part which is less visible to us, which is kind of uncharted principles of movement, which may have gaps of constancy between them, which make them less susceptible to whatever forms of measurement of phenomenon we have now, which are accustomed to more repetition in happening. But with further increases in the mode of measuring and views about the qualities and quantities of the world as we know it now, through metric systems of psychological perception aided by cultural science, we can begin to affirm more differences in the types of measuring and actually come to accept rhythms as a fundamental source of certain parts of phenomenon, which are psychological phenomenon following rhythms of daily life, which can be musical, but they can also be more subterranean and less perceptible, like the music of doors opening and closing during a day, or the patterns of gazes which sometimes follow or precede, presuppose, predict, make predictable certain rhythms of voices, which become sweet and varied according to their level of different affirmation. So if you want a picture of social geometry, you could essentially begin with this image.